Imagine waking up one day, your body moving of its own accord, dancing uncontrollably. This isn't a nightmare, but a strange occurrence in history. Welcome to the year 1518 in the bustling city of Strasbourg, France. A peculiar event unfolded, starting with a woman named Frau Troffea. She stepped out into the street and began to dance. Not the kind of dance you'd see at a celebration or a ball, but a frenzied, non-stop dance. Her feet moved relentlessly as if possessed, and she didn't stop, not for food, not for rest, not even as her shoes wore thin and her feet bled. Days rolled into a week, and an even stranger thing happened. Frau Troffea was no longer alone. 34 others had joined her in this bizarre spectacle. They danced in the streets day and night, their bodies writhing to a rhythm only they could hear. And so the bizarre dance marathon began, with no apparent reason or cure in sight. As the days passed, the dancing epidemic only intensified, spreading like a wildfire amongst the townsfolk. It was as if the rhythm of an invisible piper had bewitched the people of Strasbourg. The contagion grew, and within a month the spectacle had swollen to an unimaginable scale. Around 400 souls, men, women, and children alike, had been consumed by this relentless dancing frenzy. The authorities, confounded and desperate, responded in ways that seem almost absurd to us today. They believed the dancing to be a natural disease, a fever that had to burn itself out. So they did what seemed logical to them. They encouraged more dancing. Halls were cleared, platforms were built, and musicians were hired. The town squares echoed with the haunting melodies of 15th century tunes, feeding the frenzy rather than curbing it. Imagine, if you will, the conditions during the epidemic. The streets of Strasbourg were filled with hundreds of its citizens, dancing in a trance-like state, oblivious to the world around them. They danced until they dropped from sheer exhaustion, their feet bloodied and bodies bruised. Yet they would wake up and resume the dance, their faces reflecting a mix of pain and ecstasy. Shockingly, some even danced until they quite literally dropped dead, their hearts giving out from the extreme exertion. The dancing continued unabated, day and night, rain or shine. The townsfolk, trapped in their own bodies, were unable to stop, and all the while the death toll mounted. The dance of death had taken over Strasbourg, transforming it into a macabre theater of the absurd. Despite the mounting death toll, the dancing continued, creating an eerie spectacle that has baffled historians for centuries. This was not a joyous jig or a merry waltz. This was a dance of desperation, a dance of death. And yet the greatest mystery of all was still to come. What caused this bizarre and deadly epidemic? What could cause such a strange and deadly phenomenon? Over the years, many theories have been proposed. Let's delve into some of the most prominent theories. One of the most popular explanations is stress-induced mass hysteria, a collective behavior where a group of people, overwhelmed by stress or fear, start to act in a certain way. In this case, dancing. The year 1518 was a time of extreme hardship and famine, which could have caused such a psychological reaction. Another theory suggests ergot poisoning as the culprit. Ergot is a fungus that grows on rye and wheat. When ingested, it can cause hallucinations and convulsions, symptoms akin to incessant dancing. However, this theory has its critics, as ergotism can also restrict blood flow to the extremities, making coordinated movement almost impossible. Religious fervor is another proposed explanation. Some believe the dancers were members of a religious cult, perhaps performing a ritual or a form of penance. But this theory, like others, lacks concrete evidence. The lack of a definitive answer has led to ongoing debates among historians. Some argue for a combination of these theories, while others propose entirely different explanations. It's a puzzle that continues to perplex us, even after 500 years. To this day, the dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most intriguing mysteries. Now that you've heard the story of the dancing plague, what do you think? History has presented us with this perplexing riddle, and we're all detectives in this grand mystery. Your thoughts, your theories, they matter. Remember, the dancing plague is a historical enigma, an unsolved puzzle. There's no definitive right or wrong, so let's delve into this together. Let's unlock the secrets of the past. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows, your theory might be the key to solving this centuries-old mystery.